Kim, can you talk to us about the effects of current funding levels for the schools in Richmond?
Well, right now in Richmond, the school board just announced that this year they will be running a $5 million deficit. And this is after 14 years of having to make cuts. So that means for the last 14 years, they've had to cut educational assistance, they've had to cut programs, and this year we went through a round of school closures. Well, they had to stop the process. They didn't end up closing any schools, but one of the reasons was because they didn't have enough funding to seismically upgrade the schools. So we've seen a lot of cuts in Richmond because of the poor funding, the unstable funding that we've been receiving.
Has this been your experience also, Kelly?
Definitely, and we're also seeing that from a functional standpoint, the schools that are not a part of the seismic problem aren't getting the upgrades that they need as well. So we've got lead water in schools, we've got mold, we've got facilities that don't support the current learning model, which is going more electronic. So there's a lot of problems, and they just can't be addressed within the budget that's available.
Do you think that the difficulties are falling on some parts or segments of Richmond more than others?
Definitely. You know, there is inequality in income in Richmond between neighborhoods. And so what we're seeing is that in some neighborhoods, the PAC is able to completely replace the money that would be coming from the government. So they have cultural programs, they are able to do field trips, their school is in good repair, and they have electronic devices to use in the classroom. And then we're seeing in other schools, they are able to have 1 or 2 iPads in a school. Their playgrounds were taken away because they were unsafe, and they didn't have money to replace them for years. So we're definitely seeing a disparity, and that's just not right.
Is that your experience also, Kim?
Yeah, it's a very similar perspective. I also wanted to add that the effects are being felt all across the district, whether the schools are over capacity or under capacity. The schools that are over capacity are seeing portables added to them, and packed classrooms, so the teachers are struggling to manage with so many children in the classroom, and also children with special needs. And the schools that are under capacity, or what the government would consider under capacity, might not have the same services as some of the other schools that are, you know, have a higher capacity. So it's quite unfair, I would say, across the district. The same type of programming, same levels of our quality of education is not the same.
And how about the recent Supreme Court of Canada decision? Do you expect that to have an impact in Richmond?
We hope it will have an impact on Richmond. It should impact the whole province, actually. But if we look at the government's track record on funding public education and also providing funding in Richmond, I'm a little skeptical as to how fast that will come or how much funding will come our way. The school district doesn't have enough in their budget to fund additional teachers or additional resources. Like I said, they are running at a deficit as it is.
Kelly?
Yeah, I'm really concerned that this could turn into another unfunded cost pressure on our school district. We are already facing $5 million shortfall for the next year. If the school district was required to hire more teachers and teaching assistants, I just don't know where that money would come from.
You are co-founders of Richmond Schools Stand United. Would you tell us some of the activities you're engaged in as part of this organization?
Yes, we've been quite busy this last year. Actually, Kelly and I just met when? March? May. So maybe 6 months. We didn't know each other. We're from different schools, but we both were really passionate to save the schools in Richmond when they announced a list of closures. So we got together. We've held 2 rallies in Richmond. We also circulated a petition that was tabled at the legislature this summer. And we've been trying to reach out to the various PACs in Richmond and
Online
letter campaign, also the local decision makers in Richmond, the MLAs, the city, the trustees, everyone.
We've been talking to a lot of people.
Well, thank you for talking with us today.
Thank you.